Coming up on an all-new episode of Turneround Theory, we're gonna go to Danica Maria Dope Discussions on her YouTube channel as she breaks down the 5 reasons why older men choose to stay single. And of course, your boy gonna come through with another free theoretical thought. So join me for another edition of Turneround Theory coming up next on YouTube. Is it over for the men when it comes to the dating world? If you'll stick around for another edition of Turnaround Theory coming up next on my YouTube channel in just a moment, we're going to go to Danica Maria Dope Discussions on her YouTube channel, and she'll break down the 5 reasons why older men stay single. And of course, your boy's going to come through with another free theoretical thought. Fellas, as I often tell you, y'all should often be knowing my saying, and y'all should often be knowing the drill. So why don't y'all grab a quick snack and come on back, because y'all just might learn something. Turnaround Theory starts now. Go ahead and roll that intro. What is up, everybody? Again, it's your boy, Mr. Turnaround, aka Tenacious T, and I want to welcome you to the latest edition of Turnaround Theory only on my official YouTube channel. As you should know by now, Turnaround Theory comes to you each and every Monday over the digital airwaves of YouTube. And Turnaround Theory is also the actual platform of where I normally give the fellas just like you at home a free theoretical thought on just about anything. You always gotta wonder why I come up with an intro like that, but hey, what the heck. Listen, for those of y'all that are just tuning into this edition of Turnaround Theory on my official YouTube channel, I want to personally welcome you, and if you are in fact a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back. As a constant daily reminder, I want to remind you to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel, because it would help out and it would be beneficial for the YouTube algorithm. And please don't forget to smash on that post notification bell, because you, my friends, will instantly be notified every single time your boy posts up and upload more additional content onto the channel. Please be sure to follow me on all social media platforms. There is a link provided in the description box below. And if you also want to contribute to my YouTube channel through PayPal, there is also going to be a link for that in the description box below. Please don't forget to use the hashtag Team Turnaround that you see at the bottom of your screen, because that lets me know indefinitely that not only you're watching another edition of Turnaround Theory, but it just goes to show that you are supporting my channel with regard to the content that I post up, and I might give you a shout out right back. I do hope and pray that I have covered everything within this matter, and with that being said, let's jump on over into another edition of Turnaround Theory.
The dating scene for men is a wrap.
But wait, there's more.
And everybody can see it, especially the women.
Huh?
And the reason why the women are seeing it the most is because they are the ones that are looking for men, and they're nowhere to be found.
This right here is my favorite thing ever in the history of forever. I think about this every day. I think about this all night long. I stay awake, not sleeping, because I'm thinking about this.
Men are choosing to be alone, and they're standing on it. And what makes it even worse is the fact that they are comfortable and content and completely fine with doing life by themselves.
What?
I recently came across a video from my brother Darwin McPherson, to where he broke down 18 reasons why a lot of older men of today are choosing to be single. But what I want to do is take it a step further and highlight 5 major reasons that I myself as a woman constantly hear from my brothers as far as why they are choosing to be single. And yes, a lot of these things that I'm going to mention can fall under the category of what older men are saying and what older men are experiencing. But let's make no doubt about it. My platform is composed of men from all different ages, all different backgrounds, all different races, and they're all saying the same things. So even the younger men are choosing to be alone. Even the younger men are choosing to put themselves first and prioritize their own well-being and being self-sufficient over finding a woman, settling down with a woman, becoming romantically and intimately involved and seriously involved. And yeah, they are doing the same thing and following behind a lot of the older men as well. So on all fronts, women should be shaking in their boots. And I did for a very long time do my best to prevent today from happening. And what I mean by today is what we're seeing. What we're seeing is a lot of the men say, yeah, I'm actually happier by myself.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
It was never supposed to be like that. Women were supposed to be delivering to these men such a beautiful, great quality and standard of life and living that a man could not ever even fathom an existence without a woman being on his team. But we fumbled. We fumbled and got humbled because a lot of those same women who were trying to be strong, independent boss chicks or turning down and passing up the good quality men, they're now begging. They're now crying in their cars, talking about how they shoulda, coulda, woulda. And the sad thing about it is the men do not care.
I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, okay? I just want one.
Sorry, sweetheart. You messed up. That's on you. I'm going to be over here elevating, evolving, growing without you. And to me, that's the most heartbreaking part of all of this. It was never supposed to get to this extreme. It wasn't. Men and women were supposed to always come together, build together, and thrive, prosper. That's what it was about. Like, we're not put together here for no reason. So to see the state and the climate that we are in today, it is heartbreaking. But I thought I would come on here and give you all 5 major reasons that I, even myself as a woman, constantly hear men say as far as why they are choosing to be single. All right. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And let's get into the first thing on our list as far as a major reason why a lot of the men today are choosing to do life alone.
It's gonna be a good day today. Woo!
So the first major reason that I hear as far as why a lot of the men are choosing to be single today is because it saves them more money and it's more cost effective. Let's be honest, you all. A lot of the women today have dug such a deep hole for themselves that any man that they encounter, they are going to want them to rescue them. And what is that going to cost? Money, and lots of it.
All she wants is money, 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 money.
Women are so impulsive with the spending. Women are so consumed with looking like they are living this lavish and luxurious life that they would go into, I'm gonna be real, millions of dollars into debt just so that they can look like they are living a luxury lifestyle. Just so that they are able to flex on the next couple, on the next woman, on their ex, you know. So you have all of that going on. And with women being so irrational and impulsive and emotional, even with their spending habits and how they are choosing to live their lives, yeah, they're going to need a man to be able to come through with that bank account and that checkbook real heavy, like, so that they can clean that up. And men today are like, no, I'm not going to do that. It would be easier for me to just focus on my own living and standard of living instead of trying to get into a relationship with a woman to where I'm going to have to clean up all of her debt. And she's going to also be looking for me to be her sponsor.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
Let's talk about that, because that is absolutely a major reason why men are not getting involved with women. Not only are you all a financial burden, but y'all are also so selfish and entitled and greedy and needy that you have it in your mind that a man is supposed to take care of you while you just sit there and reap all of the benefits and rewards. Men today are not trying to do that. Why would I take on the additional financial burden of taking care of a woman when I'm not even able to be taken care of by that same woman in return? No, a woman is supposed to make my life more enjoyable and easier, not be a burden to my pockets, not strip away at my foundation and everything I tried so hard to build. So men today are like, no, y'all stay over there with all of your bad decisions, your bad credit, and your debt, and figure it out. Because me, no, I'm thriving. I already have a system that is built in for me to continue to build upon my wealth, build upon my business, build upon my finances, and they love it that way. You know, I don't have to be burdened with the responsibility of taking care of a woman and catering to a woman and making sure that she's secure and she's safe when she's not even going to do the same thing for me. No, I have it figured out over here by myself and I like it there. So we're going to stay put. And that's a big reason why I hear a lot of men say that they would rather be single. You know, it's just better financially and they don't have to be worried with the responsibility of taking on a partner that really is not even a partner. You're not even tag teaming in. You're not even taking your finances and adding on to the foundation, whether that again is going to savings or investments or hell, just doing something nice for me. Like, men get nothing out of dealing with the average woman today. And that's just is what it is.
Stop the cap.
Y'all let me know. Do you agree with that being one of the top major reasons why a lot of you men are being single? Let me know. If you disagree, that's fine as well. But that is what I'm hearing a lot from my brothers as far as why they are choosing to be by themselves.
How embarrassing. How embarrassing.
Now, let's move head along to the second reason on my list as far as why I am starting to see a lot of men be by themselves and love it. So the second reason is pretty obvious, but a lot of the guys, they're tired of looking for a unicorn.
What do you mean by that?
They always hear about how there's good women out there and you just have to be patient and you just have to do your due diligence to find her and, you know, investigate and inspect and look under the rugs and look under the lamps. And I promise you, you're going to find her. No, they're tired. Okay. They've been there. They've done that. And yeah, I don't have time. Every woman that I encounter that I think is different, she turns out to be more of the same.
Whew. Oh, Lord.
She just had a good representative. What do I mean by that? Well, she played a good game, right? It's a lot of chameleons out here. So where on the surface, they can look like, oh yeah, she's solid. She'll even pretend to be solid for a good 6 months to a year. And then when she gets comfortable enough or she feels like she has you, now she's back to doing the same things that a lot of these everyday genetically modified modern day females are doing.
That's
why we call y'all GMO. Y'all are not natural. Y'all are not organic and y'all are not authentic to what a woman is supposed to be. And it's only a matter of time before you expose yourselves and the men say, yeah, waste of my time.
I don't need a man, but if I want one, I just hire one out for the night.
So they are starting to feel like, you know, there's no good women out there. Every woman that I think is good, she turns out to be a piece of trash, you know, and even if you do come across a quote unquote good woman, guess what? She's going to prioritize the no good guys over the quality men.
She belongs to the streets.
Because for whatever reason, a lot of the women of today, they want a passion project. They want a man that they have to build up to be a man instead of just getting with the man that is already the man that he's supposed to be.
You don't want to be like this. This is disgusting. This is awful in every way.
And I'm going to be real about it. A lot of times those women look for passion projects because they are able to boost a woman's ego by being able to say, look at what I did. I changed a Smokey into a great quality stand-up husband. I was able to take a bottom of the barrel ass guy and turn him into a champion and the type of man that every woman would want to be with. You know what I'm saying? So you have that element going on. And on top of that, you have a lot of women that would rather get with the no good guy over, you know, the good man, because let's be honest, you all, oftentimes these women are intimidated by a man who has his things together. You're not going to be able to dictate him, control him, get over on him because he already is wise, intelligent, and he has life figured out. And all he's needing from a woman is to be the proper assistant, be the proper helpmate. I don't need you to lead me. I don't need you to teach me. I don't need you to guide me. That's my job. And a lot of women do not want to get with a man like that because, again, that's going to make it very difficult for her to manipulate and get over and control and have leverage.
I like this one.
But y'all let me know if y'all agree or disagree with that one. But that is something that I always hear from my brothers as far as why they are choosing to be single. I can't find that unicorn. What are y'all talking about? I don't see any good women out there. And if they do exist, you know, they're also on some nonsense as well. Or they're also enabling a lot of the trash behaviors of the quote unquote bad ones.
Emotional damage.
But let's move head along to the third thing on my list as far as one of the major reasons why a lot of the men today are choosing to be alone and be single.
But wait, there's more.
So the third thing on my list as far as why a lot of the men are choosing to be single today is due to them not being able to have real peace. Now, my brother Darwin touched base on this in his video, and please, you all, feel free to check it out. It was a very straight to the point, direct video to where he broke down 18 reasons why a lot of men today are choosing to be single, older men specifically. But the peace element, to me, is the major piece as far as why a lot of the men are choosing to be by themselves. Let's run the clip and hear what Darwin had to say as far as the peace element is concerned.
He's experienced more peace without a woman. I'm going to say that again. Older men have experienced more peace without a woman.
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
This one hurts, but it's real. Most men have experienced more peace being single than they ever had in a relationship. No drama, no arguing, no ego wars. And once a man takes that kind of quiet, he stops chasing noise.
Oh, and like I said, you all, a lot of men are experiencing this. They're experiencing the fact that being with a woman comes with a lot of headache. It really does. She's going to come equipped with a lot of demands, a lot of commands, a lot of things that she feels like she deserves that you need to deliver to her. And if you don't, best believe it's going to be a lot of complaints, right? So the men today are like, look, it's more quiet. It's more peaceful with me just being able to do my life how I want to do it on my own terms. And like I said earlier, that was never supposed to be the case. Women were supposed to show and prove to these men that we were assets instead of liabilities. But we did it wrong. We did. We came through treating men like tools, treating men like they are our property, like they are ATMs. And that's a hassle. That's a headache. And nobody wants to feel like they're just being used and taken advantage of. And that's ultimately and essentially what a lot of the women did to the men. To where now they're in this mode of feeling like, look, I like having my own space. I like having my own peace. I like being able to live my life how I want to live my life without having to answer to anybody. But ladies, if we would have came into these men's lives and offered to them things that were complementary to what they already had going on and collaborated with them, that would have worked so well in our favor. So where we would be able to have men that we could love, that could love us, that we could nurture, that could nurture us, that could provide, protect, lead, and teach. But we block our blessings every time. Every time we fumble and get humble. Then you see a bunch of these women crying their cars talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. Well, whose fault is it? You all made it something that was possible for men to experience life by themselves, and they got comfortable. Let's be honest about it, you all. And y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe.
Women.
Like Darwin said, it's quiet here. It's peaceful here. I don't have to hear somebody complain about what I didn't do and what they need and what they want and me having to constantly bend to their will. No. And like I said, that was never what a relationship was supposed to be anyway. It was supposed to be us coming together and being complimentary, us showing reciprocity, appreciation, dedication, so on and so forth. But we didn't do that. Now the men are in this cocoon, if you will, and they're good. You know, I have things situated and set up exactly how I need it to be. I have a routine now. And that is also factoring into why they are so comfortable with being by themselves.
Oh, say less.
Let's move head along to the fourth thing on my list as far as one of the major reasons why a lot of the men today are choosing to be single. So with this one, it's a little sticky and tricky because we already know that as we age, more than likely, people are going to come equipped with additional baggages, if you will. And that additional baggage could be children, right? And a lot of the guys today, they're just not wanting to play the stepdaddy role. I'm sorry about it. And we already know that it's way more women out there who have children than there are men that have children. And a lot of the men, they want to start their families from scratch, right? So one of the downsides that a lot of men are running into when it comes to dating and relationships is the fact that they cannot build a family from scratch of their own. A lot of these women, they're going to come equipped with baby daddies, baby daddy drama, children drama, and they just don't want to touch it. You know, they want to start their families organically with their own DNA to where they don't have to worry about children growing up and resenting them and talking about you ain't my daddy and all that. Like, they don't want to deal with that. And so that is also a major reason why a lot of men are choosing to be single. If I get involved with a woman of today, they're more than likely going to come equipped with children, and I don't have time for that. I don't have the money for that. I don't have the resources for that. I don't have the patience for that, right? Because let's be clear, a lot of the men are going to be expected to financially take care of not only that woman, but the children as well. That ties back into the first thing that I mentioned, which was, you know, the money and financial aspect of dating and relationships. And a man is going to more than likely have to uproot his whole life and reorganize his whole life to accommodate a woman and her children. And they don't have time for that. They don't want to do that. And maybe they do have the money, right? Maybe you do have enough money and resource and everything of that sort to be able to completely rearrange and change around your whole life to accommodate a woman and her children. Maybe you do, but a lot of them, they don't want to do that. You know, I would rather start from the ground up instead of having to just jump right into it and automatically all of a sudden just have a whole reality shift overnight. I don't want that. You know, I want a gradual change, and I want to build and start my own family. And that is something that a lot of men, you know, are complaining about. Like, no, I'd rather be by myself because at least I don't have to take on the responsibility and the obligation of taking care of an already made family, you know, which again can come equipped with its own dramas and setbacks in and of itself. So yeah, a lot of the men are choosing to be single for that reason. Now, do you have men out there who have children of their own and they don't mind collaborating and getting with a woman who has children herself? Yes, you have that. But let's be honest, you all, a lot of the men out there, and you will be very surprised that there are older men out there, they don't have children. And so they don't want to have to jump in head first and take care of an already made family. No, thank you. Hit up your baby daddy, see if he can get back with you and help you out, because I don't have time. All right. But again, y'all let me know if you agree and disagree. I look forward to what y'all have to say. But let's hop into the last and final major reason that I hear my brothers complain about as far as why they are choosing to be single. And that last and final reason is, drum roll, please, is too many monkey branchers. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is this. A lot of the women today are looking for men that are going to level them up and build them up for the next guy. Men have seen that play out time and time again, and they want no parts of it. For crying out loud, you all, they have something called a starter husband. Yes, you heard me right. Y'all know how they talk about starter homes? Yeah, they have starter husbands, to where you get with a man that is financially stable and secure, and you be with him for about 2 years or so, just long enough so where you can reap some kind of reward and benefit from the system, and then you leave him, take half of what he has, and then move on to the next man, and you keep doing this over and over again until you reach a level in your life to where you feel like you're good enough to be by yourself. But the downside to that is, ladies, you're never going to be okay with being by yourselves. All right. So that even backfires on you. So where it's like, oh yeah, I have all of this money. I have all of this security, so I can be single. No. Why do you all think we see so many successful women still be outside trying to find them a husband, trying to start a family, so on and so forth? Money cannot buy or replace, rather, your female nature. Okay, so let's make that very clear. But nonetheless, this is what women try to do time and time again, and men just want no parts of it, because I'll be damned if I get with a woman and I fall in love with her and I build her up, all for her to leave me and monkey branch to somebody else that she feels like is bigger and better than me. You know, don't want to do that. So wasting my time, a waste of my money, a waste of my love, effort, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, done with that. You know, but that is something that I oftentimes hear my brothers complain about. You don't know what woman you can really trust. Is she really here for you, or what you can do for her? Exactly. So that is a lot of the gripes, or those rather are a lot of the gripes that I hear about women, and why it is contributing to a lot of men being alone, choosing to be single.
Stay put, fellas, because when I return, I'm going to conclude today's edition with another free theoretical thought right after this.
Why are older men staying single? Older men have already been through a lot. They've had a lot of relationships. They've seen the ups and downs. They've made some mistakes in their relationships, and they don't want to repeat them. They're not willing to settle for anything less than the real deal. Older men tend to have higher standards, and rightfully so. They've lived life, and they know exactly what they want. They've got careers, their own routine. They're just not willing to fill that slot with someone that doesn't align with their life anymore. The older that they get, they realize that time is so precious, and they want to spend it with somebody that truly complements their life. Not only that, but men who have been through life and been divorced, they know how to take care of everything. They know how to cook, clean, work, pay the bills. They do it their way. The thought of bringing someone new into that situation is a huge ask. It's not about being closed off, it's about being selective. These men have worked extremely hard for their happiness, peace, and freedom, and they're not willing to give that up for any woman that's not worth it. Older men aren't staying single because they don't want a relationship. It's because they're not willing to settle for anything less than a real connection. And they don't want someone that's just going to walk into their life and bring drama and chaos. So if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, or 60s and you're single, good for you. Waiting for the right person to come along is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And I mean, I don't need to tell you that. I'm sure you're fully aware.
I'm 55 years old. I've never been married, and I'm happy about it. Now, one could easily surmise that a past rife with some degree of promiscuity, dare I say, contributed to my desire to be single. But that is not the reason I am not upset about being single. Jeezy, how he filed for divorce from his wife, Jeannie Mai, after only 2 years of marriage. Former friends are saying she's after his money. I hope the Shade Room is watching. Because my nephew tipped me off to that site, and I see some of the things y'all talk about. Oh, y'all welcome on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Please come. If Kevin Costner's monthly child support enables the children to maintain the quality of life he once provided, why should he have to pay extra so the wife that he's no longer with gets to maintain her quality of life? Y'all ain't together.
I'll tell you why he's single. He's single because his ex never valued clear communication without the use of games or using his vulnerabilities against him. Trust became an issue because he was lied to and disrespected. He was made to feel like anything that he did would never be good enough because what he did do was never appreciated. And not only was it not appreciated, it was criticized far too often. And at the time, yeah, he thought that he could change a few things to make her happy. But then he found out pretty quickly that she was never going to be happy. Him giving in just became a habit because she wanted to control him rather than love him for who he was. Him prioritizing her and doing things for her time and time again became a one-way street. His peace was constantly sacrificed without any kind of reciprocation. So let's be clear, he's not single because something's wrong with him. He's single because he thought he loved and cared for a woman that didn't really love him for who he was. She was just using him.
Men are staying single because it's not men that don't feel worthy of love. It's that they don't trust that women are going to give them the love they feel they deserve. There's ulterior motives, conditions, acts of service they have to do in order to be worthy of such love, versus women just have to be women. Because a lot of the times they use their kitty as a bargaining chip, as a prize to be won. Well, when you use that as a tool to bargain with, then it becomes a commodity and it lessens the value for both sexes. So for some, it's far less problematic to just be single. They respect their worth, they just don't feel that a woman respects theirs.
Gentlemen, understand something. If you are a single man with no children and you are earning $75,000 or more, you are now platinum. Shout out to platinum. If you're making 6 figures or more, you are now diamond level. If you're making $55,000 to $60,000, you are gold. You are far more valuable than you have ever been. And here's the trick. You guys don't know how valuable you are. And that is why so many of my critics and detractors are angry at me, because I am waking men up to their true value. That's why they want me shut up. That's why they want me off this. They don't, because of the impact it's having upon right-thinking men and right-thinking women. It is making it more and more, it's making it less and less possible for men to get bad deals. That's why every day I walk out in this world, I get love from men. Every single day. Shout out to the two young dudes. Hadn't even hit puberty yet. No offense, but y'all still look young to me. They could barely get the words out. Those dudes have to be 14, 15. Those men are going to have a different outcome because they're not going to accept bad deals.
And now, Turneround's theoretical thought. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Y'all know what time it is, and this is always my favorite part of the segment. Once again, it is time for another edition of Turnaround's theoretical thought with yours truly, because in just a moment, I'm going to conclude today's edition with another free theoretical thought based on Danica Marie's YouTube channel concerning the 5 reasons why older men stay single. Here's your theoretical thought for today. Did you realize that more than 50% of women will always have a backup plan, and that you also know that more than 63% of those men choose to stay single because they know their worth? I have said it multiple times on this platform already concerning the men that knows their worth. If a man can't get a woman to bring him peace, then she is not qualified to be wifey material. Chances are, these women will continue to expect men to fund their lavish lifestyle so that these women don't have to work for anything in the world but just be lackadaisical and mediocre and don't have to earn it. All the devil they know how to do is show up with a quick fat body and just use men for financial gain. Fellas, it's time to know your worth and realize you don't have to deal with women that just love you for your money. If they can't love you for what's in here, which is your heart, then they damn sure are not wifey material. That is your theoretical thought for today. And this concludes another edition of Turnaround's Theory for today. Hey listen, shout out to Danica Marie of Dope Discussions for posting this up on her YouTube channel. I will in fact post up the YouTube link and provide it in the description box below. Now let me know what you think in the comment section below concerning today's edition of Turnaround's Theory. And as a constant daily reminder, I want to reiterate to you guys to please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel, because it would in fact help out and it would be beneficial for the YouTube algorithm. And please don't forget to smash on that post notification bell, because you, my friends, will instantly be notified every single time the boy posts up and upload more additional content onto the channel. For Turnaround's Theory, I'm Mr. Turnaround, aka Tenacious T. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you right back here next Monday for another edition of Turnaround's Theory here on YouTube.